Good morning, Jody.
Mr. Espy, how are we doing this morning?
We're hanging in there. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, August 2nd. Yeah, we weren't able to do the show yesterday, but you know what? We are today. And first things first, everybody, welcome to the show. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.
Yes. Do that. We also have realtors texting me. However, Dan Woodley, good morning. He's in the chat so far. He's the only one in the chat so far. But when you do a show on your unscheduled day, sometimes that happens.
Yes.
But it will be available for lots of people to see. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on this video and channel. Head on over to Jody's channel and hit subscribe. And Curtis Klushinski, I see, is in there. Loser to Lambo, how are you doing, sir? We have a lot to talk about. So the first thing is, let's talk about your event from last weekend.
Yes, it was the Joe Woody Invitational. That is a tournament where all proceeds go to the suicide prevention program. I've been attending that event since 2013, and the last few years I've been taking second. And this past weekend I took number one, and I had to beat a stud named Jody Smith out of Northern California. And here's the funny part, Ryan. Have you ever gone to an event and your original plan was, I'm not going to pull today?
Yes.
And then you end up pulling.
Yep.
Okay, so just to give everybody some insight, welcome everybody to the show. So I was going to ref. That was my main objective, was to ref, right? I wasn't going to pull at all. Then, I get there and, I put a post on there maybe Friday, and I was going through all my awards from that tournament because all my, Facebook memories popped up. And I was like, I've been doing this for so long. I got to go. I got to compete. So my original plan was just to compete with right. I want to save my left for the next event coming up in 2 weeks. And I'm just going to pull right, see how it goes. Well, I got to warming up and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. I felt a little discomfort in the wrist area. So I'm thinking, I'm still suffering from that match back in June. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do it. And then Jody Smith's daughter, Savannah, walks up on stage. And I'm like going, oh, so if she's here, Jody Smith is here. I ain't your left hand. Let's go.
Of course you did.
Let's go. Let's do this. Got a little payback because last time we pulled, he put the boots to me at the Washington State Championships in 2019. And I'm like, I'm going to get revenge. That's just how it's going to go down. No, 2020. But nonetheless, I'm getting revenge. That's how it went down. So me and him met in the finals. It was Jody versus Jody, to the point where we each had one loss on each other. And it was a barn burner. And Puller Magazine was there to film. So I'm sure he'll put together. And once he does, I'll share with everybody also. But good tournament nonetheless. I felt good. I'm only sore because when you pull, we got two big studs that pull hard in the strap. You're going to walk away with a little pain. But nothing, no injuries or anything like that. So.
That is fantastic. So congrats on the finish there.
Thank you.
And, of course, we have a ton of matches to talk about.
You're going to have to help me because some of these names I can't even pronounce.
Well, you want to get right into it?
Let's do it.
So we have, and this is not broken down. I assume that a lot of these are going to be right-handed matches.
There's one left-hand match.
There's one left-hand match for sure.
No, I'll take that back. Two of them.
Two of them. Yes. Oh, no. Yeah, I see some of them are specifically labeled as left. So yeah. I see three of them.
Okay.
That are labeled that way.
Did I read
which
that
is
right,
a little weird. We'll get to the ones, but it's
Did I read that right? Because I got my list here, and I'm reading it. I'm like, does that say Morozov's pulling twice?
Yeah, but Chaffee is a right arm match.
Right, but he's pulling twice that day, though, right?
Yeah, he normally does.
Okay.
Yeah, he normally does. So from the top, you want to go by my list?
Yeah, we'll go by your list.
We got Ryan Bowen versus Coach Ray.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there are three matches on here that pique my interest. 3 of them. That's one of them, right? For reasons of this. Besides that little Coach Ray and Ryan Bowen, social media banter back and forth, which is kind of comical. But I finally get to see, or we all get to see, Ryan Bowen in action. How many times did, we all sat there and wondered, hey, is it going to be Bowen versus RBJ? When is it going to happen? It never happened. We still kind of hung our hat on that, and it never did, come out. So it's like, forget it, move on, right? Just like Chance Shaw and Jerry Cataract, just move on. We're not going to see it, move on.
No.
But finally, we get to see Ryan Bowen in action for first time in how long?
Years, because he wouldn't get the vaccine, so he would not travel.
Right. So,
and, it's almost it wasn't a good idea for us to go there either. So
right. And for all intents and purposes, when a lot of people say he's delusional, he could be. I mean, until the moment of truth, all it is just talk. Now we get to see what you've been doing the last X amount of years, Ryan. I'm not putting anything by him. I'm just saying we finally get to see all that talk you've been doing and work you've been doing. Is it going to pay off? That's what it comes down to.
Okay, I'm going to say some things here that might piss off a couple of people. I don't consider Coach Ray to be an elite arm wrestler. He's very good. But with Ryan Bowen calling out the elites of the world, he's calling out the likes of Sasho.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling out RVJ, which I still consider to be world elite. He had better win this match.
Yeah.
And if Coach Ray beats him, then maybe Ryan is delusional.
You know why I'm picking Coach Ray? There is a thing called table rest. Now, listen, I'm not saying he doesn't do anything. I'm not saying he's not practicing on tables and he may go to a small local tournament in Australia, but we're talking Coach Ray. And even though, SB, that you don't think Coach Ray is an elite, Coach Ray's been putting in work. Like, he's been on arm wars, competing with Ready Goes and all that kind of stuff, where Ryan really hasn't. And I'm not saying that, there's some good and bad to that. The good thing about, not competing in the wild is the fact that, okay, you don't have as many miles, and so your body should be well rested, I would imagine. The flip side is that, okay, practicing pulling and actual tournament pulling are two different things. You know that. I know that. Everybody in the chat knows that. So with that, I'm going to say Coach Ray is going to win this one out. He's been training. He's been competing at a high level. I mean, you know what arm wars is like. That's not nothing. That's nothing to laugh about. That's real stuff.
Of course not. But Ryan Bowen holds himself in such high regard that how can I say anything other than Ryan has to win this match? I think Ryan will win the match.
Mm-hmm.
So I will pick the other guy from you.
Okay. I'm gonna circle Coach Ray, and I'm gonna go.
Keep track of these.
Yes. Watch. I'm gonna be delusional. I'm gonna say Coach Ray 3-1.
I will say the exact opposite. Ryan Bowen 3-1.
All right. Sounds good. I like that one. Off to a good start.
Next match I have here is Derek Smith versus Revz Lutids. And now, probably butchered that, but I know it's Revz. So it's Derek versus Revz.
Right.
Is Revz not the guy that beat Chance in the last a couple times ago?
I was at East vs. West 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So, very interesting matchup then. Very interesting.
Right.
Because if Derek gets the win, could he then be considered superior to Chance Shaw? You know what I'm saying? It's like MMA math.
Not until they meet on the table. I'm sorry. They need to stop ducking each other.
This is probably the closest we're going to get, though, Jody.
Yeah, true. And I probably shouldn't say, I shouldn't use the word ducking. What I should say is that, look, man.
Strategic avoidance.
Well, okay. Well, you know why Derek needs this match?
Because he's losing matches.
Well, if we've been talking about the the past year and a half now, if we're going to talk about the future of the supers, and it's always Derek Smith, Chan Shaw, and Corey West, who's the most least active puller in that group?
Oh man,
the least active.
Well, that'd be Derek.
Right. He needs this. I mean, how long ago did Derek pull Tim, and then he had the first East, first West, and he lost, and he hasn't pulled since then. So it's like, I know his I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I know he has his own way, his own path, right? And it could be once every 4 months, 5 months, whatever, but if Derek wants to be in the lead, you gotta compete, man. And if you're taking losses, then maybe you need to say, okay, I went to East First West. What was it? Was it the first one or the second one he went to?
I don't remember.
And he lost. And it was like, okay, Derek, now where you at? Because he had the momentum going into that match because he had beaten Tim Bresnan. So I'm thinking, okay, well, you went to Elite and you fell on your face. Cool. Maybe take another match before the next one. Didn't happen. So now if Derek loses to Revz, where does Derek go from here?
Well, he also beat Michael Todd. They're reminding us of Revz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know. I am going to go out on a limb, though. My prediction is going to be that Revz wins this match.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
Okay. And I don't think there's much more to talk about on that one. I mean, Derek.
No, I want Derek to win because I really want to see what happens with these guys. But, if Derek goes there and takes another loss, then it's like, okay, are you really ready for the Elite? Do you need to come back down to the super heavyweights in North America before we start leapfrogging across the pond? You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. Next up, we've got Cory Miller versus Daniel Prokopova.
I don't know much about the other guy.
I kind of do, and I think I think Cory might be in trouble.
I mean, explain, because I don't know. I thought when I was in Arizona and Cory Miller pulled, right? Giannis.
Yeah.
And I was there in person. I was doing play-by-play with Don Underwood during that match. And, that first match, Cory shocked a lot of people, even Giannis. The difference was Giannis made the adjustment and Cory never could figure it out after that. So tell me and everybody out there what you know about the other guy.
That he's lots of world experience. So that being, like, you got to take, we have all this pool of arm wrestlers from North America with limited experience at international events, or lots of experience, but not lots of success at world or international events. And we are trying our best to match them up with guys with world pedigree that have done extremely well in European or international events. And it becomes extremely challenging. And this is one of those matches where, everyone thinks Cory's a stud, and they are correct. But I believe this guy is more on the level of a Giannis. Okay. So I think he's going to win.
I mean, like I said, I don't know too much about the guy, but I like your comment about how when you match up East versus West, let's be honest, they got the advantage. First of all, it's all taking place over there. There's a lot more pullers on that continent than it is over here. And you could add Canada with US, and that's the West, right? Some of the top tier athletes and the top tier events happen over there. So, the European championships are huge over there. Zloty is huge over there. Well, no, we don't get the opportunity to send our best guys every time. We've had some in the past, but not every time. So, I'm glad, some of our guys are getting an opportunity to go over there. And, I don't know. I mean, I don't know too much about the guys, Ryan. So I'm going to give Cory the benefit of the doubt and say Cory 3-2.
I'm going to say 3-0 or 3-1 for Daniel. And the 3-1 would be if Cory flash pins him once.
Wait, what? Daniel, what's his last name?
PRO.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
You know
Wait a
one.
minute. I know that guy. That's the guy that likes to go into a hook. And I remember he came on the scene at the Moldova tournament.
Yep.
Oh, shit. All right. Maybe I might change my mind now. Now
He's
I
a
know who you're
bad
talking
man.
about. Okay.
Yeah.
That might change everything. I'm going to go Daniel 3-2 then.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Oh, you're doing Daniel too. Okay, right on.
Now I know
Here's
you're
an
talking
interesting one. Yeah, he's Moldovan. Jay Clean pointed that out. So yeah, he's really, really good, man. Chance Shaw versus Zurab.
Wow. I wonder.
Now we have some weird math going on here again, because you take Zurab, who he beat Ron Bath a few matches ago, correct?
Yeah, that
And then
was
Bath comes in and beats Chance Shaw.
East versus West 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. And now you've got Chance coming off of a loss to the guy that Zurab just beat not that long ago. Although arguably Ron could have leveled up. However, Zurab seems to be pretty damn strong at the moment.
Wasn't Zurab coming off COVID or something like that when he pulled Ron and he said, I beat him, but I was sick or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. He's not sick now, is he?
No. And here's the interesting part about this even more is that you got Shaw versus Zurab, and then Zurab is going to go on and face Porkchop in November at
Really?
Jeff Frank's event. Yeah.
Wow.
But for this one, it's just Chance Shaw versus Zurab we're talking about. And I gotta say, man, Zurab's gonna win the match.
Question. Do you think, and since we're talking about math, I'm horrible at it, but I want everybody in the chat to comment. Ryan, I want you to comment. So remember when Corey West pulled, who did he pull? And I can't remember who he pulled right off the top of my head. But then like 2 weeks later, he pulled John Brzenk. Who did Corey West pull? Was it
He was pulling Kurdecha.
Yes. Okay. So he pulled Kurdecha, right? And that was a king of the table. Then 2 weeks later, he pulled Brzenk. And I was wondering how it was going to go. Now, take that scenario and go, Chance Shaw just pulled Ron Bath. Now he's pulling, Yeah,
there was not a lot of time in between, but
that's my whole point. There wasn't a lot of rest time. It's not like you're pulling, an amateur or you're pulling some, I'm pulling Steve from that, Bubba's Barbecue Shop Championships. This is Zurab, right? And I know, why is Chance pulling lighter guys again? I don't know, but it makes me wonder, was it enough time to recuperate? It didn't seem like Chance got injured in that match, but when you go up 2-0 versus Ron, I'm thinking, all right, Chance has this. And then to see Ron come back, I'm thinking, okay. I'm going to say this. If you're going to win, I don't know if he's watching, Chance Shaw, if you're going to win, my advice to you is do not try to hold somebody out here. I don't know if everybody can see that. Don't try to hold your point out here. Get the grip and then go. When they say go, that's exactly what you do. Because you can't do that you can't do that through the duration of the match. I mean, Ron Bath sat there and Ron was hitting hard. Yeah, you caught him the first time, and you caught him the second time. But after that third time, that might have worn you out. I don't want to see you wear out in this one.
Here's the weird part for me. And this is just, I find this odd. All the guys that are getting beat in multiple times in East versus West are getting called back. And they're not getting softballs. They're getting called back and they're getting put against monsters again.
Is Ingen trying to teach us a lesson?
Yeah. And they're all saying yes. It's like Derek loses, gets called back. Shaw loses, gets called back. What's the other one? Matt Mask lost terribly and got put against the guy that's equally as devastating. So Man, I don't.
Unless your name is Dave Chaffee, Todd Zilla, or John Brzenk. I mean, I guess, because I mean, I look at it like this. I mean, Ryan, if you went there and then let's just say you got crushed and they asked you to come back, would you go?
It would be a more strategically taken match, that's for sure. I mean, chance to facing Zurab. Yeah, Zurab's lighter, but he's not a lesser opponent.
Because I mean, I say that, and Dan Woolley, we'll get there. We'll get all that too.
We'll get it through it, Dan. Don't worry.
I say that because it's like, are they doing it because they want clout? Are they doing that because it's like, hey, I'll get views? I mean, what exactly doing? Because honestly, if it was me, now granted, if I was ever to go there, not saying I would ever go there, because who the fuck knows me? But if I was ever to go over there, right, and I get just annihilated, I would have to come home, lick my wounds, and go, what the hell just happened? Go back to the man, Herman Stevens didn't get invited back. Where's he at? Schoolboy hasn't been invited back. Where's he at? You know what I mean?
There's other guys, yeah. Yeah. You ready for the next one?
Let's go.
Lachlan Adair, Sandris Sedis.
That's probably the one match I don't even know which way to go.
I think I know which way to go. And I would put money on Sandris winning this match. And again, world experience, elite arm wrestling experience. Lachlan came over, faced a few guys. I think Sandris has it. I think he has it. And I think it'll be kind of in devastating fashion.
Like a sweep?
I think the Aussies need to be a lot more active on the world stage, because there's a group of pullers that gets a lot of clout without doing much.
Yeah.
On a competitive level. And they may not like to hear that, but I don't care if they don't like hearing that. That's kind of the way it is. It's they're willing to prove themselves. The matches they're getting, sometimes they go well, sometimes they don't. But when they get faced off like Bowen, I mean, when was the last time Bowen pulled a meaningful match?
Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah, I'll wait. It's going to probably be outside of Australia. Was it Chance Shaw like years ago and before the pandemic? And
no, he'll say last year, was that when they had some big match but he pulled Lachlan, like he pulled his own countryman.
Yeah, he pulled Lachlan and Lachlan crushed him.
Right, and that told me, like, okay, are you really where you think you are, Ryan? And that's what I think. Honestly, that's where that delusional sort of came from. Like, you can't be the best guy there, where you got annihilated by Lachlan, and then ever since then it's been social media. So
yeah, but again, you guys are talking about Over the Top in the chat, but Over the Top was an Australian event with Larry Wheels.
Yeah. Why is it like Truman not getting love? Just curious. Is he injured? Why is he not involved in these matches?
I have no idea. Why are those guys from the top 8, just creeping back into this now?
Right.
Like it's I mean, there's definitely some new blood in here from the East versus West that we haven't seen in a while. And it gets exciting more as we get through this. But
Russia's a band right now. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. The Russian
Screw you, Russia. Fucking everything up.
The next match is Yusuf. I'm not even going to try, against Yurdalet Sarabay, and I don't even know who these guys are, so I can't even comment. I have no idea who these guys are.
I would have to use a help and go, hey, I don't know. I don't even know how to. I don't know. I'm going to say the other guy.
I'm going to say the other guy just because he's got a Kazakhstan flag, and they're all bad dudes.
Yeah.
Now,
is it me? Or is there like a lot of Georgians in this event?
Georgians, Kazakhstan, and a ton of Americans.
Yeah.
But Kazakhstan, never sleep on those guys. Ever.
No.
This one is interesting for me. I think it's going to be one-sided, though.
Okay.
Krasimir versus Irakli. I don't think Krasi can do it. I think Irakli has it.
I'm saying Irakli sweep. God, don't jump on me for saying that.
I agree with you, Jody. I agree with you. It's going to be. I don't think Krasimir can do it. You know, the one thing that Krasi always holds himself out to be is natural. A natural athlete.
I love natural athletes.
Now, I love that. But when you're competing at this event, he is the outlier, right? He is not. He is the exception.
He is the minority.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, it would be impressive for him to come in and yeah, Jay Clean makes a good point. It's the first match he's pulled at his own weight in a long time, but we saw what Irakli did to Marcio. And man, it's not something I think Krasi can deal with.
EVW, yes, Natty for life. That is me.
Oh, Dan Woodley says, wait, some of these guys are on PEDs. Well, I don't know, Dan. I'm just speculating that I know that Krasimir isn't.
Dan,
so I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it in your thought press, Dan, because there's guys here in the States that do PEDs for local tournaments. So yeah. So there's that. There's always that, right?
Let's just say this. I'm confident that if there was drug testing, Krasimir would pass.
I don't think there'd be East versus West.
Well, I can't say that, Jody. That's awful speculation.
Hey, if you did a drug test,
it's
they'd
very
be calling me over there because half the athletes probably wouldn't be eligible. No, I'm just joking.
So I think we agree. Irakli sweep. Some of the people in the chat are disagreeing. Dan says Coach Ray is clean. Okay. Well, there you go. Ryan Bowen, we know is not. He's the only one we can confirm is not, because he talked about it on his channel, and then all of a sudden those videos disappeared. But
yeah, weird.
Whatever.
Like I said, dude, I just did a 3-part series with Derek Hightower, and one of the topics we talked about was PEDs and what I thought about them. You got 30 seconds for me to talk about that?
Of course.
PEDs, guys, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. And Derek Hightower, YouTube, look him up. We sat there and talked about that, and Derek asked me, what is my thoughts on PEDs? I said, look, I know people in the sport that are real good friends of mine that do that. That will not change my friendship with them whatsoever. Doesn't change my friendship. However, my thing is this. If they're upfront about it, I'm cool. If you're honest about it, I'm cool. But don't try to downplay it. And I'm just talking about guys in general. Don't downplay that by saying, oh, I've been doing a lot of hard work. I've been putting X amount of hours in the gym. Well, no shit. The steroids you take allow you to do that much longer, recover faster, and lift more weight. Yes. I just don't like when people downplay that and then enter a tournament knowing good and damn well they have that much of advantage over the other person, and then they try to just downplay like, yeah, I've been training hard. I'm like, the hell you have, man. If you could beat the guys that you could beat without it, you wouldn't be on in the first place. So don't give me that, oh, it's just TRT, and then it morphs into something else. Like, come on, man. At least admit to it. If you admit to it, I'm fine. Now, he also asked me, how was it back then? I said, when I first got into the sport in 2011, it was don't ask, don't tell. Now there's more people open about it. Fine, whatever. I just wish sometimes that to eliminate that, because some people, good athletes I've seen get drive away from the sport because they go to an event and somebody's like juiced out of their mind and they claim that they've been doing hard work. I would say, and this is where everybody's going to hate me for saying this, I'd say, look, the guys who are on the PEDs, have your own division. Have your own sandbox in the playground. You do your thing. Let the natural guys do our thing, and then everybody's happy.
You're relying on people to be honest.
Exactly, right? So that's just my feeling. You guys can agree, disagree. I'm okay with that, you know. Yeah. So anyway, back to our show.
Well, the next match is where it gets real interesting. We got Dave Chaffee versus Arta Morozov. Right-handed.
Yeah, Dave is looking to get revenge after his loss. Was it Gennady he lost to last time?
Yeah, I believe it was.
It was like what, back in May? It was back in May. I think it was. He like lost 3-2 or something like that. I tell you what, Dave ain't losing this one. I might be a little biased, but Dave is not losing this match.
You know what? I'm actually going to pick Dave Chaffee in this one as well. However, I would not be ultra surprised if Morozov pulled it off.
Well, it depends on which match is first. I know he's pulling Cody Merritt left-handed. I know it's difference of hands, but that does play a factor. But
yeah.
he's used to doing that, though, right?
Yeah, he definitely is used to it. And he's young. Like his energy systems don't deplete. I don't know, man. He is exceptional. He is exceptional, and I think it's going to be an interesting match.
Jay Clean, speaking of juice out of his mind.
It's all speculation.
Wow, I like that. Way to go, Jay Clean. I like that. Did you see that?
I did.
Arm sports videos in the house, honestly. In arm wrestling regarding PEDs, surely, yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, that there is nothing more exciting to me than to beat somebody who's on the juice. That's my FU to them when you beat them. Because then my motto goes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yep. Now, Morozov, man, like the guy's either like made in a lab or he's I don't know what's going on, but he's 280, like Jay says, 280 at 10% body fat. He might be less than 10%. Like the guy's a scary looking guy.
Like, is this cheat meal like a piece of lettuce wrapped in turkey?
Yeah, something like that. It's a vial of plutonium.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have the first of only two. Well, let's talk about both of them at the same time. We got Gabby versus Egg Ill.
I don't know anything about her.
She's very good.
Okay.
But she's facing who many consider to be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And in this format, I believe Gabby wins both.
Yeah. And quick note, by the way, I just looked on my phone. The part 3 episode of my 3-part series just dropped just a moments ago. Look them up, Derek Hightower, my part 3 series. Sorry, everybody. I had to put that out there. Just dropped. But we're talking Gabby, right? Vasconcelos. She's been winning WAF titles since nursery school, okay? Let's be real. I mean, you don't get no better than that, right? Like, Ryan, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've heard slight conversations where Gabby was put in the same conversation as Dot Jones, Leanne.
Ooh, what are these guys saying? Like maybe there's something we don't know here, Jody. These guys are saying that she's undefeated against Gabby, and they've pulled a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a WAF?
Maybe. But as we all know, this can be a very, very different match than a WAF match.
Well, okay, let me ask you this then. If she beat Gabby at WAF, did Gabby come back and beat her to win the gold, though? That's the question.
And it's been a while, apparently, since she's pulled, or Scott's asking the question, has she been active? Well, this match just got a lot more interesting for me, learning all these things.
I might have to do some research, Ryan.
When this I'm still picking Gabby both arms.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that one, but
because if that's the case, like I can see where Gabby would be training for an event and want to come in kind of half motivated because she's beaten this person every single time. Now, if this is somebody that has been a nightmare for her in the past, there's going to be a little extra motivation on this training.
Oh, I know how that goes. I think we've all had that. I guarantee you, and Ryan, I'm going to use you as an example. I know for a fact, if some way, somehow you and Kradeka were to run it back, you will be even more motivated than the last time.
Yeah, and I would do a lot of things differently.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, let's put that one away for a while, because that one, I think we're going to be, if we have a lot to talk about today, imagine what the next week's show is going to look like, because there'll be results.
We may have to start maybe an hour earlier, maybe. God. Woo!
This is an interesting one. We've got David Samushia versus Bojidar.
Bojidar, easy.
Oh, I don't know if it's easy.
Well, I meant as far as me picking the winner.
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm going to pick against you.
3-2, Bojidar.
I'm going to say David pulls it out. I'm gonna say that, and I'm going to say that Bojidar will be the favorite, but I think we're going to see an upset here.
Do you think, Ryan, that when some of these guys have been doing these other promotions and we see them more oftentimes than their opponents, that it plays a factor into that?
Yes.
When you see Bojidar on Arm Wars, when you see him, on another East versus West, but yet their opponent, almost little to nothing about, do you think that plays a factor in people's decision or predictions?
Yeah.
It does with me, because
of course,
again, this is why I use the Coach Ray Ryan Bowen scenario, because Ryan Bowen hasn't pulled since, who knows? And, here's Coach Ray doing East versus West. He's done King of the Table. He's done Arm Wars. He's done those top 3 promotions. And Ryan Bowen hasn't done anything. That's why I picked Coach Ray. But we're past that now. So, but that's why I say when you got these these athletes who have been seen and more active than their counterparts, it does play a factor in that.
How can it not? So Bojidar, definitely the favorite, but I'm still taking the other guy.
There you go.
Oleg Zok versus David Dadikian.
I'm a lefty, so you know who I'm going with.
You're going with Oleg.
Yep.
This should be a one-sided match if Oleg is back to form.
Right.
If he's not, then we have a match.
Again, we haven't seen Oleg since what? East versus West 1?
It's been a while, man.
And this is the 4th edition. So I think the last time I saw him was the first edition of this. So
okay. Well, there's a bit of a weight discrepancy here, I think. But Oleg, he was a killer. Will he be back?
This might tell the tale right here. I think if he can get past him, then we can officially say, okay, he's back now, 100%. Let's see what else Ingen has for him down the road.
Yeah. Well, they all agree with us. They're all saying they think that Oleg loses in the chat. So we'll see.
I say Oleg 3-2. Don't beat me up too bad, people.
Yeah. Yep. And then we have the match that you and I probably are waiting for the most.
Well, there's three matches on the card that I love to see. We already talked about one of them.
But the match you and I probably are most interested in, because we're lefties, is Cody Merritt versus Arta Morozov.
Yes. Did you happen to catch Aussie Arm Wrestlers show? Had all the predictions. He had like the poll and everything going. Did you catch that?
I did not.
A lot of people are not picking Cody.
Well, man, I don't know how you. Based on what? Morozov looks like a freak.
Yeah.
But who has he beat left-handed that is on Cody's level?
That's the thing. I don't know if they're going by the fact that, and it makes you wonder too, do a lot of people out there who made those predictions for the poll, do they understand the level that Cody Merritt's on left-handed? Do they understand that?
Probably not. Probably not. And my hope for this is that Cody can get through this match uninjured.
Mm-hmm.
But he has been prone to injuries from time to time in big matches like this, where there's a lot of torque on both sides of that table. With all this considered, I have to go with Cody Merritt.
How much does Morozov weigh?
280.
Yeah, when you get guys, and Cody's well over 300, so when you get two guys, and we all know they're going to end up in a strap, let's be real. When you have that kind of power up there, and you got just a strap holding two studs like that, yeah, the key word in that is torque, right? So it all depends on if Cody can get the actual hit, or is he going to like stop the hit and come out here? This is where you start hurting yourself, you know, when you're out here. I know that firsthand. It happened to me this past weekend. In the strap, somebody just yanking me this way. I'm trying to hold on for dear life and hoping that person make a mistake or readjust. That way I can kind of feel that and I can do my stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm picking Cody, don't get me wrong, but I just don't want Cody to leave and then take another few sabbatical because, you know, of an injury. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got another match right away that we're all so equally interested in, which is it's a while away.
Yeah.
It's just Cory versus Cody.
Yeah. So I hope that, you know, he can get out of here. I'd rather see him versus Cory more than this match, because I want to make sure, you know, Cody just walks out of here injury free.
Yeah. And they're talking about how Morozov is ranked number 1 in the world, but also that the top 4 or 5 were dropped because of inactivity.
Wait,
I don't think the world rankings are accurate at all, especially when it comes to the left arm. Because I saw that list, and there are guys on there that I know I can beat, but I'm not anywhere close to that.
Oh, my Lord. I got to check that out. Number 1 in the world left hand, huh? Okay.
Apparently. Yeah.
Who's doing the rankings? Do we know?
Probably his uncle, but he's never won a WAF or anything like that with the super heavyweight, not that I know of. I mean, it is a tested event, but I don't know. If I'm wrong,
go ahead, Ryan. You could say it. You're a Hall of Famer. You've won WAF titles in the Open and Masters. You can say what you want to say.
Yeah. I think we both agree Cody's going to win.
Agreed.
Hutchings, Prudnick.
You know what? As much as everyone's going to pick Todd, I think
I'm not.
this match will be closer than people really think.
I'm not picking Todd.
I think the torque, this right here, if Prudnick can get this, let me go to the side. If he can get this, that's going to spell trouble.
I'm taking Prudnick.
I don't know who to pick on that one. I really don't, because I don't think Prudnick gets enough of the limelight, I should say, or the love that he deserves, because he can be sometimes underrated, you know. But Todd has been coming out, destroying everybody put in front of him, except for the last match against Michael Todd. But that's a little different. But you know,
Clean has made a statement here.
Yes. Jay Clean, hold on, dude. Let me take a sip of my Vita water before I even answer that comment. Hold on.
You have an opinion on this?
I want to make sure I saw that right. I ain't got my glasses on. They're over there on my nightstand, but
let me put it back up here.
Prudnick is the best on the planet under 110, according to who? And I'm not, it's an opinion, right? I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just based on what merit, though. I mean, I'm being for real. I'm not trying to, call him out. I'm just being on what merit, because
according to me, he says.
Oh, okay. I mean, and that's cool, I'm not gonna take anything, I like to know that
Preacher Arm Wrestling says Neil would agree.
Maybe,
I
wish Prudnick was more active And the thing is, though, is this, Jay Clean, I mean, there's a fraction of me that kind of says, you know what, I can see why you came up with that. If Protonic was more active, then we can probably talk more about that. But it's like somebody
who would you say it is, Jody? Who would you say it is?
You said under 110, right? Kilos?
Yep, under 110.
There's a guy on this same card that's been whooping ass, and he's what, 57?
You're talking about John.
You think John Brzenk can lose to him right now?
I don't know, man. I mean, if Protonic beats Hutchings, you will probably and John gets by on Grabayev, which is not an easy task. You'll probably see Protonic and Brzenk go against each other in the next East versus West.
Do you think Protonic can beat Sasha?
Yes.
Do you think Protonic
Sasha is a little guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Can he beat Marcel if Marcel was able to get down to that?
Yes.
Oh, well. I just wish he was more active. I don't see a whole lot of him.
Well, I mean, might have something to do with where he's from at the moment.
And that's horrible. See, this is why this whole thing is just stupid. Because now there's a whole bunch of athletes out there we don't get to see because of all the fucking stupid political stuff. Right?
I agree.
Like Vitaly. Dude is just sitting there going, I'm on this island and I can't do anything. Right?
Well, if only Putin was a bigger fan of arm wrestling, we wouldn't have to deal with all this stuff.
Hey, Justin made a good comment. Honestly, how about Devon versus Protonic at 110?
You know what? I don't put Devon in such high regard when he's sitting at 240 pounds. He's very good, but he's not the guy that he would be when he pulled in the higher weights.
Right.
You know, put him against his matches with Matt Mask were competitive. Mm-hmm. Some of his matches with Marcio were competitive. John has beat him at 240. You know, I don't think Devon has a great time with styles like Angrabayev at 240.
Well, Angrabayev's another one against Protonic, you know. But again, my whole thing is that because he's not as active, which makes me think that he's slightly underrated because we don't see a lot of him. And sometimes I kind of forget he's out there. Like I almost forgot when I said Trubin, I kind of forgot he was out there. But, you know, when you're stuck over in a country where you can't compete, it kind of out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Like I said, I'm not saying Jay Clean is wrong. I'm just saying based on what Merritt. But, yeah, I mean, with all the other BS that goes on with the world, if everything was in, you know, even Steven, you know, that'd be interesting. But, yeah, I think you're right, Ryan. If he gets by Toddzilla, yeah, and John wins his match, then there you go.
Yeah. And that is a world marquee match that you should stop what you're doing and watch when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will materialize. Then we have the final two matches here. We got two more matches here.
Yeah, and then the one I hope you're about to bring up is the one I've been wanting to see because once again, I don't want to say, you know something, I'm going to say this, and you guys may disagree, which is fine. Let's talk about Gennady and Jerry Cataract.
That was the next one I was bringing up, yeah.
Jerry Cataract will be our version of Ryan Bowen. Why? They're both gingers. Let's get that out of the way. And they both haven't pulled a meaningful match in about 2.5 years. Now, they've been working out. You know, Paul Talia's been, you know, on Jerry's, you know, train and says, hey, I'm trying to help promote this guy to get back into it. Because, again, once again, Jerry, just like Ryan Bowen, wasn't involved in a situation where we want to see him and Chance Shaw, but it never came to fruition, right? Is Chance Shaw going to be in Jerry's corner in this match? I wonder.
I highly doubt it. They probably won't have lunch together.
Right. But yeah. I'm interested to see where Jerry's at now. Yes, you got all the videos out there. He's been putting up the weight. I get it. I get it. You know, he's massive. He's strong. But we haven't seen anything since what, 2019, when he pulled the wah for the hammer with Michael Todd, which still leaves a big question mark to everybody. Chance's cornering Gennady. Wow, that's funny.
Oh, it's even better. Like
No, I did it. Actually, I did hear that. Whether he was joking or not, I actually heard that on one of the talk shows Chance was on.
Hey, why would you want? Like, okay, I mean, Gennady will never say yes because Gennady is a better competitor. He doesn't need advice from somebody that is, you know, he can't understand anyway.
Well, the
However,
thing is,
it's fun.
It's just, for me, it's just like, you want to see Jerry because it's like going, okay, because, you know, after some of the talk that Paul has him on the show, I think there was, he made a reference about him and Levon because of his style, you know? And, you know, I'm like, all right, well, how about we do this first, Jerry? How about we do Gennady first, and then we'll see where we go from there.
If they're really studying Jerry, there is a path to beating him.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis revealed it. And so did Devon. I love Jerry. I absolutely do. But I think Gennady's going to win.
You know what? If Jerry loses this match, our whole show on Monday might be just on that match.
It could be.
I'm telling you,
and
man.
I will tell you, if he gets into that lane that I think he's going to get into,
mm-hmm.
that I'm not going to talk about right now.
No.
And Jay Clean said it right here. Gennady knows how to deal with a flop press. Gennady is one of the smartest pullers on the planet. If Gennady has done his homework and he knows the lane to beating Jerry, this could be an extremely one-sided, non-competitive match. And I learned the path after I pulled Jerry in our super match. Now,
you talking about after the wall match?
Yep. But I had pulled him. If you look at back historically, there were a couple of times when I got a pin on him with a running foul, but I had pulled him correctly.
Right.
And there is a way, there is a path. And if Gennady knows it, this is going to be a long day for Jerry.
Well, first of all, Alex 1750, how you doing? Welcome to the show. The thing is, Ryan, I see this, and you've heard Jerry talk about this countless times on his podcast show, whether he's a guest or a host or whatever, that he likes to pull in the hook. It's just people want to go, you know, top roll.
I don't believe that. He likes to pull in a hook when he's stronger than the person he's pulling in a hook.
He goes to his bread and butter when it's some of the top elite athletes. The thing is, though, the whole world knows about it. The entire world knows that. And, you know,
Jerry can't pull Gennady in a hook. I'll say it right now.
Jerry what?
He cannot pull with Gennady in a hook.
Well, you know what? Here's my thing. You know what's going to come down to? Jerry's conditioning.
Oh, I don't think it's going to come down to that at all.
Meaning that if he's going to be in this match, you know, if you're not going to already go and do this, then your conditioning is going to, because he's getting bigger and bigger, and like he's looking massive, like strong, a stud. But, you know, we all know when you carry that much weight, right, and you go to one of these matches, best of five, you get to these grinders, man, it will take its toll. Because right?
I'll say this: if Jerry gets in his position one time, he'll probably win the match, the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We don't know yet. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know about Ryan Bowen. We don't know about Jerry Cataract because we haven't seen these guys on a, you know, stage.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
This is like when somebody that is like super kickboxing heavy or boxing heavy goes into a mixed martial arts fight.
Yeah.
They have a really good chance. They've got that puncher's chance of winning, but it rarely works out. And then you've got a well-rounded guy across the cage. That's Gennady, who can sometimes pick them apart in different areas.
Right. Is Jerry going to go for the KO off the go, or is Gennady going to go, you know what, I'm going to win the round?
He's going to have to. He has one path to victory.
Yeah.
And Gennady has one thing he shouldn't do, which is try to top roll him.
There you go. Yes, Jay Clean. Gennady's endurance is really good. Preacher Armstrong said Gennady has shown from the last match, though, to have decent endurance. Yes. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, guys. Maybe that's not the first thing you guys think about, but when I think of these big guys over here, endurance always plays a factor in my book.
100%. Like, look at, I mean, Corey West is an example of a big guy that has good endurance, but just a little bit too much out of the tank against John. Otherwise, that match, you know, that could have went either way.
Stack says, I think Jerry could sneak in a round maybe due to Gennady not being familiar with him, but the next rounds he adjusts perfectly because Jerry has only one lane. And again, let's just go ahead and play devil's advocate. If Gennady stops Jerry round one and Jerry gets into a spot, can Jerry make the adjustment? That is the question. The $1 million question.
Yep. Well, I'm picking Gennady for the win.
I'll eat my words. I'll pick Gennady.
I would love to be wrong.
I'll pick Gennady, but who cares what I think? You know, I'll pick him. You know, because I haven't seen. I'm like, for the same reason I'm picking Coach Ray against Ryan Bowen. I haven't seen anything. Once I see these guys pull at a higher level versus a high competitor, then I'll go from there. But I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, Jody, you're wrong about Jerry. Jerry crushed him. You don't know what you're talking about." You're right. I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know what the fuck he's been doing this last X amount of years. So sorry.
It's very easy to come back to a prediction and say you didn't know what you're talking about, but I mean, we got a 50-50 shot of being right.
Right.
In an arm wrestling match, in a fist fight, in a mixed martial arts match, there's one guy that is going to lose and one guy that's going to win.
There you go.
And then we got John. Brzenk, Jim Brzenk versus
Junior, by the way,
Ongrabayev. Jim Brzenk versus Ongrabayev.
I thought he was pulling that dude from the top 8 from Kazakhstan.
That's him. Ongrabayev was in the top 8 from Kazakhstan.
I thought it was somebody else he was pulling.
Nope.
Okay. Maybe I got that confused. I think
Gali Ongrabayev. I'm probably butchered the first name, but I know the last name. And Ongrabayev is fantastic. Okay. He had surgery, Jay Clean says. We're not sure where he's at. I think John gets the job done, but Ongrabayev is fantastic.
I'm going to put on my Velcro strap right now and say,
like your Mr. Miyagi move right there?
Yeah, I got to put on my Velcro strap. It reminds me of the good old days, right? So here's the thing, guys. Because what we're going to see this weekend might showcase something for the next, East versus West number 5, right? If like you already called it actually, Ryan, so I'm going to credit you for saying this. If somehow Todzilla loses to Protonic and John wins this match, you bet your damn dollar that it's going to be Protonic and John. Then we get to say, and maybe we should have Jay Clean on the show so we can say, hey, man, if that happens, have Jay Clean on the show and go, look, dude, you tell me what's going on now, and have all this stuff going on because I just don't see John losing. 57 years young. And it's not like he's pulling these tournaments. He's pulling at a high level. I wish I can do that at 47, let alone 57, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, Oh, apparently Jay says brzenk versus Protonic is already happening. It's already scheduled.
Oh,
So it'd be even better if they both win their matches.
well, there you go. There you go.
Now, regardless of the results, he says, but them both winning would make it even better.
Right.
That being said, I do think John will win. How can I? Yeah, he's been on a tear. He's heavy. He's healthy. He's there's some questions about Angrabayev coming off of the surgery. I think John has it. Not gonna be easy.
Right.
I mean, Angrabayev is a nice high top roller. John's gonna have to stop him and pull him back, I think, every match. But I do think John wins. He gets the job done.
I like how as soon as the matches are done, John gets a call. Hey, I got to have you on for East versus West 24.
Well, yeah, now England's just signing him to like multi-fight deals here. So he's already on number 5 or something. I think it's number 5. So he gets a break, but then he's, I think.
When are you on there, Ryan? When are you getting the call?
I don't know, man. Probably if I can get past Topi, maybe.
No, that's okay. You know you have an open invite to Arm Wars, so this is
Yeah, I can go to Arm Wars anytime I want. I just got to call Neil and say, hey.
I'm hoping to do that. Hopefully, Neil and I will get on the phone pretty soon and we'll talk shop about Arm Wars. So
Jay says he thinks John wins 3-1 or 3-2. It's going to be tough. I agree. I don't think John is going to sweep. I think there'll be 1 or 2 matches that Angrabayev can win. And John will just play positions a lot better.
Yeah, he plays for exactly. It seems like John plays for the win on the last. If it gets to the silver bullet match, that's when John plays for the match.
It's almost like he's considered the entire body of the super match. Almost Randy Couture-esque in his game planning.
It's strategy, right?
Yeah,
it is strategy. So I like it. I'm excited. I'm gonna have a big practice coming this Saturday, and do we know what time everything starts?
I have no idea, man. I tried to log on to the Core Sports website yesterday, and I just got the circle for loading, and it never came
like
up.
every other time. Okay.
So hopefully, I'm gonna buy it. I know I'm gonna buy it wherever I am. I'll probably be at my cabin, but I got good, strong internet out there, so I'm gonna make everyone sit there and watch arm wrestling for the whole day.
Hey, there you go. Why not? Yeah. It's important stuff. Just say, hey, it's my job. It's my other job.
Yeah, it's my duty as one half of the Can-Am connection to watch these matches.
Yes. Yeah. Preacher says, I want to see an angry John that didn't like the call on him versus Zurab. Yeah, that little dumb. Yeah, that was a sucker punch pin, by the way.
Yeah.
John, don't think John is not going to be aware of that, because John is so smart. You can move your finger this way or that way. He'll know what you're doing. That's how smart he is.
Well, Jody, it's an hour in, and I got some other commitments I have to go and take care of, but it's been a pleasure as usual.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on the show. Guys, thanks for joining us on the show. We got a lot to talk about come Monday morning. So
yes, we will. And we will be back at our regular time.
Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We didn't catch your goodbye message, Jody. I just saw a bunch of blurry stuff, but
oh, sorry. Yeah, don't be late. As always, see you when we see you. You guys enjoy your day.
Thanks, everybody.